I'm often asked by fans about favorite kills. And I think that's a misconception about Pinhead, because he's not really a killer. The killing is not the thing for him. It's the suffering.
With the risk of sounding dull, my favorite Cenobite is Hellpriest, aka Pinhead. The biggest impression why I think he's my favorite Cenobite out of them all is because there's something really aristocratic about him, and I think that's the first villain that I encountered in my life back in the 80s that was not just a pure mindless monster.
Pinhead is like this anti-slasher villain. When you look at a lot of other movies in that period that were bundled in with Hellraiser, typically slasher movies, they were motivated by like a Michael Myers or someone who, you know, had a specific aim that he wanted to achieve with his killings or whatever it was. But Pinhead is kind of just out there being Pinhead in Hellraiser, and then someone calls on him with the lament configuration. And we try to go back to this more monastic guy who's searching, this character who's searching for enlightenment through sensation, way beyond the boundaries of what a normal human would be doing. And then, because we spend more time with him, it being a video game, we wanted to give him a specific goal this time. So we looked at those original movies and asked, what would Pinhead actually want?
Working with Doug Bradley as original Pinhead was a great honor, to be honest. Also was really excited to hear from us and see what we do with the character as well.
I think Doug Bradley brought weight to the project when he decided to join, and him willing to participate and putting his trust into the project, I think it's just the greatest.
I inevitably had some anxiety coming back to play the character again, because, you know, you kind of think, oh great, I'm going to do that again. Wait a minute, how do I do that? I'd like to offer some mystical, exciting, actorly process, but I can't find anything other than there's a switch that flips in my head and it's there. I guess it helps that I've spent a lot of time over the last 30 years and rising talking about the character.
Recreating the 4 original Cenobites for our game was it was challenging, you know. We tried to be as close to the movies as we could.
We wanted to bring something out from each of the Cenobites, and for some of them we wanted to make a connection between the character and the environment, for example, and for some between the character and a certain emotion that the encounter with the character evokes.
For Pinhead, it was always like about presentation, so he had to, you know, look good. He had to be, you know, whenever he goes, he has to be in control of the environments.
We wanted the players to experience his overworldly presence and his nobility.
For Chatter, the main focus was gameplay, you know, because the player will have to run.
We aimed to keep the tension high, introducing some highly engaging music and his menacing teeth and his footsteps echoing through the corridors.
For Fallen, or the female Cenobite, her appearance is mostly in the real world. So when we designed her, she always appeared like closer to Aiden because we wanted to achieve this like sense of familiarity. She's trying to persuade us towards, you know, the dark side, or rather her side.
We just played with some processing, mostly time-based processing, like I think some interesting delays and reverb, in order to make her more ethereal and elevate her presence and authority.
As for Butterball, his scenes were a bit challenging because they're mostly like very disturbing.
It's an interesting idea to think about how Pinhead feels about the other Cenobites. They don't interact very much. I mean, we never see them talking to each other, working on a plan of attack or anything.
The Cenobites are extremely powerful and godlike beings, and player interactions with them will be different depending on the Cenobite. You will never be able to defeat them or kill them, but you will have ways of dealing with them.
All of them are featured in some capacity. Pinhead is someone who you need to kind of earn his appearance and his attention, so there is a very strong narrative reason why Aiden, the protagonist of our game, comes to Pinhead, well, why Pinhead comes to him.
So as for what the Cenobites are doing and what their goals are, it's kind of the central mystery of the game, what they're doing and why. It's something that Aiden, like the player character, is consistently investigating, consistently asking them about, and they give him kind of cryptic answers. Pinhead and his gash, they do also have a specific goal that they're trying to attain, but you'll have to play the game to see whether they achieve that and what the exact nature of that is.